She ignored your messages. She vanished without a trace. Days turned into weeks, maybe even months, and you were left staring at a silence that felt louder than any word she could have spoken. And now suddenly, without warning, she's back. A ping. A hey. A casual word that carries the weight of every unanswered question you once had. But here's the difference this time: you won't fold. You won't let your heart race as if you've been handed a lifeline. Because deep down, you're about to uncover a truth that only a small percentage of men ever truly grasp: what she's actually doing when she comes back after disappearing, what her sudden reappearance really reveals about your value in her mind, and how one careless move could bury your dignity forever. But on the other side of that realization is something even more powerful, a way to flip the entire dynamic in your favor. And it's not with games, not with manipulation, not with empty strategies, but with something far more enduring: your own inner strength, discipline, and unshakable self-respect. Most men collapse at this moment. They treat her return like proof that she finally came to her senses, like she's finally recognized what they always wished she would see. But that's not what's happening here. The truth is far colder, and once you understand it, you'll never look at her hey the same way again. Because she is not reaching out because she suddenly misses your soul, or because she's been lying awake at night drowning in regret, longing for your arms. She is reaching out because your absence created a vacuum where her certainty used to be. For the longest time, she was confident. No, she was convinced that you would always be there. Waiting. Hoping. Craving even the smallest sign of her attention. She believed that all she had to do was toss you crumbs, a late-night text, a vague compliment, a short reply, and you would come running, eager to prove your loyalty. That belief gave her power. It gave her control. And she fed off it. Every time you answered quickly, every time you adjusted your day just to keep her satisfied, you reinforced that she was the center of your emotional universe. But then something shifted. Maybe you got tired. Maybe you finally noticed the imbalance. Maybe you simply decided to reclaim the time and energy you had been giving away for free. Whatever the reason, you broke the pattern. You stopped playing the role she had assigned to you in the story she was writing inside her head. Your energy disappeared from her radar. The leash she thought was wrapped tightly around your emotions started to slip. And in that moment, she felt something she had never expected to feel with you: uncertainty. This is not about love. It's about power. It's not romance, it's reaction. She isn't reaching out because she sees your worth. She's reaching out because she feels the discomfort of losing the control she once had. She doesn't want you back. She wants back the version of you who gave up his dignity at the first sign of attention. She misses the certainty that you would always be there, not the man you have become since stepping away. And this is where most men get it wrong. They think her message is a doorway to reconciliation, when in reality it's a test. If you answer immediately, if you fall into the same rhythm of chasing and pleasing, you'll show her that nothing has changed. She'll know her grip still holds. She'll confirm that all your growth was only temporary, that your silence was nothing more than a pause before you resumed your old role. And in that moment, the tiny glimpse of respect she might have felt for your absence will vanish. But if you do something different, if you remain still, not as a trick, but as the truest reflection of who you've become, then you communicate something far more powerful than words ever could. If you allow her message to be nothing more than what it is, without attaching meaning, without projecting fantasies, without needing it to validate you, you send a message of strength she can't ignore. Because true transformation doesn't explain itself. It doesn't announce itself. It simply is. The man who has found peace within himself doesn't jump at the sound of a notification. The man who has built a life full of meaning, purpose, and discipline doesn't get pulled off course by a single breadcrumb of attention. That man doesn't need closure, doesn't need explanation, doesn't need to prove anything. His very existence, his calm, his composure, his stillness, becomes the proof. His discipline becomes his language. His lack of reaction becomes the wall she cannot climb, the silence she cannot manipulate, the standard she cannot bypass. When you stop reaching back, not from bitterness but from self-respect, you send the clearest message you'll ever communicate: you are no longer available for cheap validation. You have outgrown the need to convince anyone of your worth. And that kind of shift, quiet, steady, undeniable, is not only rare, it's magnetic. She will sense it. She may even panic quietly, realizing she no longer controls the orbit of your attention. She will feel the cold truth that her absence didn't break you, it rebuilt you. And that kind of strength, that unshakable calm, is not just attractive. It's untouchable. And here's the part that men must understand: it's not about getting her back. It's about never needing her back to feel whole again.